Heyo, and welcome back to another video. And this one, what I wanted to talk about today was 7 wants for a Persona 4 remake. Prior, I said Persona 4 needed a remake. Personally, I can go back and play Persona 4 Golden still, while others may struggle, especially if they started with Persona 5. Now, again, this ain't the days of the PSTV where or PSTV, the PS Vita, sorry, I have a PSTV, so I was just kind of thinking about it in the spurt of the moment. But basically, if you were to try to hunt down a Vita around the time I did and wanted to get into the Persona series, well, it was expensive and still is expensive, but the issue is there was really nothing else like the PSTV that was more affordable, and you could play Persona 4 Golden on it. Granted, recording it was another obstacle to get over because you needed a splitter to record it. So I'm just saying, I'm just glad it's on Steam. Like, genuinely thankful Persona 4 Golden in its original entirety is on Steam, because without it we would be really screwed. Without an official like port or version. Although it's on other platforms, specifically that Steam version really just helped out a whole lot of people from buying a PSTV or a Vita just to experience Persona 4 Golden. Now, why might I be bringing this up in the first place, a Persona 4 remake? Well, Rudedigger had posted randomly, a well-known Persona modder, singer Shioko Hirata, best known for Persona 4, revealed she is recording for an unannounced game. Her photos show MIT Studio 2 in Tokyo, the same one from Persona 5 Strikers recording making of, and where most Persona soundtracks of the past decade were recorded. So this is really good news just to see Persona news potentially coming out of this. Could it be Persona 6? Highly unlikely, but there is a chance it really could be a Persona 4 remake. Among other things, Shioko has liked numerous comments on her photo that reference Persona 4. So this really could potentially be a Persona 4 remake. And I don't know, I'm really hyped to see something of the sort. I seen some type of rumor that there might be one actually in development, but there's no concrete evidence, just rumors upon that. So I don't really want to source any information that potentially may not be correct. We don't need to do this again. In Rudedigger's follow-up tweets, just make sure you're just aware that don't bet on this potentially being a Persona 4 remake, because it really might not be. But regardless to say, I feel like this is a good segue to just talk about Persona 4 again and what I'd like to see in a potential remake of Persona 4 Golden, or Persona 4. I just hope that they include all the Persona 4 Golden content. I think that just must be a must, because of the backlash that they had seen with not including Fez content within Persona 3 Reload. Or they did, just mainly the answer, for instance. So if Maria's not in this goddamn game, there's gonna be issues. But regardless to say, here are my 7 wants for a Persona 4 remake. So something that I specifically want in the UI aspect of a Persona 4 remake would be incorporating a lot of the stuff that Persona 4 Golden has in its submenu, and its sort of like TV aesthetic thing, like you're kind of watching a TV. It's a weird menu, and it's probably not well known. I mean, it does give it to you in the tutorial, but I'm pretty sure most people don't use it after the fact. But I hope some of these UI elements are used within a remake of Persona 4, because I think they could do something really cool, especially with the weather system, like incorporating it like in Persona 5 with like the date kind of there. And I think that would just really be awesome to have effects, especially like, you know those TV like newscaster things, oh it's raining, like have something like that, like an animation of it actually raining, because I think that would be really sick. Now I think with a remake you'd probably suspect a new battle song, a new intro song, and new songs in general, right? I'd like them to very much incorporate and use the damn Reincarnation versions of these songs. Like, it just boggles my mind that Atlas does not utilize these versions of the songs enough. And for Persona 3 remake, especially with Deep Breath, Like, why not actually have that reincarnated version in the like beach area? That would have been awesome. But sadly they didn't, and it just kind of bothers me that they didn't actually. And then they kind of released it later after the fact, after they redid it, which is really interesting and really just odd. Because the song already existed prior. I just am really hopeful that they will use reincarnation versions of these songs, especially I'll Face Myself Battle. Like, that freaking song is just hands down amazing. Just genuinely amazing. Like, it's basically a Xenoblade soundtrack. It just is, it's S tier. Like, it needs to be on this game. Do not question it. One thing that I for certain want to see within this remake is Marie being a playable character within Persona 4 Rewind or Remake. Why is this? Because honestly, her social link just feels kind of disconnected in some aspects to the overall main characters of Persona 4. So when they go to, spoilers actually, probably skip to this point of the video if you don't want to get spoiled before I get into it. But, last warning, but when they go to save Marie, it kind of just really does not do it justice. Like, you don't feel as much attachment as you would saving any of the characters. That's why I kind of felt the ending or the dungeon aspect of it to be kind of forced in, even though these characters knew who Maria was through the social link. She just should have been a part of the crew, if you know what I mean. It just feels kind of like weird that she wasn't, even though we kind of understand why she wasn't, because it wouldn't have made sense for that big ore dump at the end. But I don't know, something about it just would have made me feel a little bit better and be like, holy crap, I did not expect that. But it just felt way too shoehorned in my opinion. I'm sure that many people have other opinions upon this, that no, they like the Marie's like social link and how her story was handled, so on and so forth, but it's just one thing that genuinely does bother me with how that is handled. And it felt I was kind of robbed of the initial story of Persona 4 in a sense, because that's the ending that I got because I maxed her social link out. So, and I chose to save her, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, I think to an extent, I felt like I got a little robbed from the other ending that I guess you're supposedly supposed to get. I obviously haven't gotten it yet. I should probably have multiple save files this run of Persona 4 Golden that I'm doing, and eventually get that. Or of course, wait for the inevitable remake, which of course will take a couple years from now, but I don't think I should wait that long. So put in the comments what you think about this one specifically, because I just think this one I think would give new players and current players who've already played Persona 4 Golden more of an attachment to Marie when the inevitable ending happens. I'd also like to see team attacks returning from Persona 4 Golden, because I think that was quite the unique aspect, which then led into Showtime events in Royal and Theurgy in Persona 3 Reload. I think these aspects of Persona are actually really dope. I think they're broken as hell, but at the very least, I would like to see a meter system or I guess, action button to be able to use it instead of being forced into using it. Because sometimes you don't really initially want to kill the boss, and I think that's kind of like being forced into it is like the worst aspect I think about for team attacks, even though it makes everything 10 times easier for you to deal with. Now this fifth want that I want a lot of wants, is that I'd like to see Persona 3 Protagonist boss fight, whether it's Femsi or Persona 3's male protagonist. Now I assume they're going to use the male protagonist from Persona 3 because he's already made. It'll be a lot easier to kind of deal with throwing him into the new game, as it will probably be Unreal Engine 4 or maybe 5. I doubt it will be 5 because Unreal Engine 5s are built for 6090s apparently, but I digress. I just think that'd be a really cool aspect, or they could include the Persona 6 protagonist, which would just be kind of like a tease at what his power is, his personas, and like maybe just having his like entire persona darken out, his character kind of have a mask, and then it kind of reveals itself by the end, just kind of a tease a little bit. I doubt it will, but at the end of the day, I just think it would be kind of sick to see kind of a tease at the new Persona 6 protagonist or protagonists. I don't know, man. That was a rumor. I still don't know what to believe anymore after our inevitable thing happened within the community. Another thing that I think could really benefit for remaking Persona 4 Golden would be a lot more in-engine cutscenes. As you know, Persona 4 Golden was very limited at its time with the PS2 and of course the PS Vita, and the kind of engine that it was using at the time, of course, too. So I think it would just be a lot better to have a lot more in-engine cutscenes that are running at 60 FPS, damn it, not no 30 cinematic bullshit, because screw those Persona 3 cutscenes that use 30 FPS cutscenes. I will never get over that. It took me out of the experience, even though they were sick, they were nice, I liked what the intention was, but if they were just at 60 FPS and make me feel a little bit better. Okay, ramble over. I just think a lot more in-engine cutscenes, especially with that opening scene with you and Yosuke, would just be really like awesome to see. I know it was animated for the most part, but oh my god, I think that would just be really awesome to see it as an in-engine thing. I don't know, I just think like they could do so much with the lighting, they could do so much with the scenery, like holy crap. I just think a lot more in-engine cutscenes for Persona 4, now that I'm thinking about it, like would be really awesome. Like, oh my god, oh, it gets me hyped to actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't like think of all the things I want to say, because now I'm thinking of everything that happens in Persona 4 Golden, and just like every like awakening or every like kind of crazy thing, especially like the Teddy boss fight or the more Teddy boss fight, I forget what it's called. Like holy crap, just like all that kind of everything happening before the battle, just that being an engine cutscene, like holy crap, that gets me really excited. And this is where the remake really should like really play hard into, because Inaba is not that big of an area, so everything is very kind of easy probably for them to remake, and it wouldn't take that much time to kind of do a one-to-one remake in that aspect, but doing a lot of work with the in-engine stuff cutscene wise for the story would be really awesome to see. So my 7th and last want for this would be better cutscenes than Persona 3 Reload. Now, they did improve the cutscenes in episode I guess quite a bit, and I will admit that, but damn, it was such a letdown to have some of these animated cutscenes be kind of really mid-looking at points, and I was really expecting them to go all out with it, because this is a remake. This is probably the last iteration of Persona 3 we'll see ever made, and of course it was good all in all for the most part. Just certain aspects like those, I don't want them to really kind of cheap out on, because I think animated cutscenes are very important for the Persona series. Now, they could just end up reusing what Persona 4 Golden has already, and that's fine. I think that it wouldn't be a problem, but I think within remaking it, they have to be very careful on what studio they choose, or just do it in-house. Because I think Persona 4's cutscenes just would be very terrible if they botched it, because that would just show that they didn't learn anything from the Persona 3 cutscenes, and how kind of just not great looking at some points and awkward looking they were in some aspects. I think if they do not do it in engine, it's gonna just turn out not great. Just if anything, if it doesn't just work out, if it's not working out and it's not up to the quality or part, just use the damn old cutscenes. They'll work just fine. They're basically the animated cutscenes. We'll get copyright strike though, or copyrighted. But you know what? I'm willing to take that risk than having bad cutscenes for this remake. With that being said though, those are my 7 wants for a Persona 4 remake. Put what you would like to see in a Persona 4 remake down below. And honestly, if I have to make a part 2 to this, another 7, it'll be fun, because some of y'all might say some crazy stuff that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't say that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave it a like, share it around with your friends if they're into Persona and you want to get the discussion started with a Persona 4 remake and what you'd like to see in it and what they'd like to see in it. And if this video helps them kind of get their mind into, talking about it, well, this is the video for it. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.